Assalamu alaikum, my name is Jannat and I want to share with you all some tips how you can prepare yourself for IELTS examination at home without any help of coaching centers. I believe coaching center is a waste of time and if you can give 100% effort, you can get any result. I am not from English medium, but I have got 8 in listening and 7.5 in other 3 bands. And there are many people worldwide who has got 9 out of 9. So if they can do it, you can do it too. And you just need to practice. But you have to practice in the correct way. And here I am to help you how you can prepare yourself with the help of internet at home. So let's get started. At first I'm going to give some basic idea about speaking. Speaking test takes 10 to 15 minutes and you have to talk with the examiner. He will ask you some basic questions. He will never ask you any difficult question. So if you are a native English speaker, if you are habituated to speak in English all the time, it is easiest part for you. But if you are not habituated to speak English all the time like me, then it is the most difficult part. So in this 10 to 15 minutes, the examiner will ask you questions in 3 parts. Part 1 is about basic questions. He might ask you something about yourself. What is your name? What do you do? What do you like? And you have to give answer in 1 or 2 sentences. And in part 2, he will give you a topic and you have to speak about, you have to give a speech or speak about the topic for 2 minutes. And in part 3, he will again discuss with you elaborately about your opinions about any topic or the same topic he has given you. So people like me generally face 2 problems for speaking. Number 1 is fluency and number 2 is lack of information. Practice. And to solve these 2 problems, the only solution is practice. Now, what will you practice? Now, I am giving you a link here about the website, and in this website they publish all the recent exam questions. And if you practice these questions for speaking, I can promise you, you'll get 100% common questions in speaking. They publish from questions from 2010. You don't need to go through all of this question. Just practice last 6 months. And I think this is enough. And if you do not have much time for your preparation, then practice last 1 or 2 months. If you practice these questions properly, I think you'll get a very good score in speaking. You don't need to do anything else for speaking. Now, with whom you will practice? You have to find out a partner, a IELTS buddy. It might be your mother, your best friend, your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, anyone with whom you're very comfortable, and make a deal with that person for half an hour, for 1 hour. That person will become your examiner and you'll practice with that person. And in this way you'll become confident, and after some time, if you become confident, then you can change the partner. You might find out someone with whom you are not very comfortable. So after practicing like this, you'll never feel nervous in the main exam. And how you can improve yourself. If you give 15 minutes to your IELTS buddy, then give half an hour for yourself, for improving yourself. Suppose that day you talked about your best friend, that was your topic. Then sit back and think about more ideas. What else you can say about your best friend? Go to internet, try to find out some more sentences, more ideas to improve your speech. In this way you can improve yourself. And after so many days, after a few days, after so many topics, you'll see you can easily say anything about any topic. You'll never feel nervous because in your mind you'll make so many stories. You can easily generate idea. So that is the best way. And if you do not get anyone, if you live alone, then go to internet, try to find out who is also preparing for IELTS, and you two become each other's IELTS buddy. So in this way you can prepare for speaking. Now I'm going to give some tips for your main exam date. Try to follow this. Number one thing is, try to make a natural conversation with that examiner. Never answer everything very formally. So try to make it very friendly. Show that person that you're comfortable with a smile. Just make it like a real conversation. Then second thing is, do not try any fake accent. Many people have an idea that having an accent might be carry good score. That is totally wrong, because an accent might confuse that examiner. Suppose if the examiner asks me, do you like watching television? If I say like this, yeah, I like watching television, it is very interesting, it will show that I'm very familiar with English. But if I say like this, yes, I love watching television, I think it is very interesting. Through this way, my statement is very clear. He will not feel confused what I am saying. So try to speak everything clearly and loudly, and try to stay on the topic. Never say something else irrelevant of your main topic. So that is very important. And never use any transition word again and again. It will sound very robotic. Transition words like by the way, otherwise, on the other hand. If you use it in every sentence, it might you can use these things in writing, but in case of speaking, you should not use all these things again and again. It would not sound good. And try to speak in a normal voice. Never try to be very formal or very robotic. And and the last tip for speaking is, for part 2 they will give you an extra minute before your speech in part 2, and please do not write the whole sentences in this 1 minute. In this 1 minute you need to write only the keywords, and that is all about speaking. If you practice like this, you will definitely get a very good score. Now listening. I think listening is the easiest part. You just have to listen to the conversation and answer all the questions. To practice listening, what you will need, you have to buy a set of books that is called Cambridge IELTS books. There are maybe 8 books in a set and 8 CDs. In one set, you have to practice 32 tests. So if you practice this 32 tests, this is enough for your listening. You don't need to worry about it. And how you can improve your listening. Many people do one thing, they watch television so that they get entertainment, at the same time they practice for IELTS listening too. But what I think, watching television or watching movies is not a good idea. Number one problem is movies generally they are American accents, so it will not help your listening, because all the questions generally are in British accent or Australian accent, so it will never help you. What you can do to improve yourself, improve your listening. Actually, listening is not only about listening the thing, it is about giving concentration, how well you can concentrate, how well you can understand their conversation. Therefore, you have to improve your concentration skill. In this case, what I did, I used to listen radio channels. If you have a smartphone, then you can get an app of online radio and listen all the BBC channels. There are 6 BBC channels, so you can listen to them every day for 1 hour or for half an hour, and it will be helpful for your speaking if you try to imitate them. If you're listening at the same time you're trying to speak like them, so it will also help in your fluency, improving your fluency too. And if you practice like this, I think you will get a very good score in listening. Now I'm going to give you some tips about the main examination day. At the time of the examination, before any recording, when they play any recording, they give some time to go through the questions. Try to use the time very carefully. Try to understand all the questions, get a clear idea what is this about. Then when they will play the recording, you will find out the answer easily. Try to underline all the key points when you are reading the questions. Try to underline the key points, then it will be easier for you to find out the questions. And the second tip is, if you miss anything, you are not getting the correct answer, then just leave it. Do not give time for this question. Just jump on the next question, because if you worry about that, you might miss some other questions too. So I think listening is very easy, so I don't need to say anything else about it. Now the third part is reading. Reading is comparatively difficult because we are not habituated to read all these difficult words every day. So if you want to improve yourself in reading, you have to practice, read more, try to read newspapers or articles. And for practicing, you need that Cambridge IELTS book set, and there are 32 exercises. If you practice those exercises, I think these are enough. And if you want to improve yourself, suppose you sit for an exercise today and you get like 30 out of 40, then sit back and try to find out why you miss the 10 questions, and try to find out where are the answer of these 10 questions. When you will do it, you will get an idea about their question pattern. They generally follow some sequence in their question pattern. For example, I will talk about true false. Generally people face a lot of problem regarding true false and not given. There is a trick in this thing. In most cases, true false and not given are in sequence. Suppose you have got the answer of 2 and you have got the answer of 4. Now you are not finding where is 3. It is about some kind of bird, and you should not read the whole passage to find out the answer. You will find the answer between the 2 and 4. If it is not written there, it will be definitely not given. So what I'm saying, in most of the questions they are in sequence. So the more you practice, then the more you get the idea about their question pattern, and eventually it will be easier for you to answer. And there is another question pattern that is called passage heading. There are 7 or 8 passages and there are some headlines for it. You have to match these things. Try to do this passage heading at the end, because if you have done all the questions, then you will already get an idea which passage is for which headlines. And when you're doing this passage heading, There is another tricks. Generally you will get the heading at the first two line of every passage. If you do not find it in first two line, then try to find it in last two line. You don't have to read the whole passage. And what you will do, just read the passage first, then try to think about the answer yourself. What can be the heading? Okay, then go to the question and find out, okay, which is similar with your idea. So this is the way you can do this passage heading thing. Another question pattern is multiple choice. Multiple choice are sometimes very tricky because all the answers, all the statements may be similar, so you have to find out the difference, what this statement means. Okay, which number B is saying, what it is number C is saying, what is the difference between among these four options. Then try to find out the answer. Generally in this multiple choice thing you have to be very careful. So what I am saying, reading is all about practice. The more you'll practice, the more you'll get a clear idea about the question pattern. It is something that you will find out when you practice more. You will easily get an idea about the whole thing. And if you want to improve your reading, if you have to read it fast, so try to read newspaper, some article where they use such complex sentences. There is a magazine that is called Economist that is very good. You can read economy. If you read Economist every day, it will also help you to get a better idea in case of reading. And for reading, I'll give you one tip, that when you're practicing at home, try to use different answer sheet. Do not write down in the question paper, because at the exam hall you will not get any extra time for transferring your answer from your question paper to answer sheet. So I have seen many people face this difficulty. They forget to transfer the answer in the answer sheet. So if you practice it at your home, try to use different answer paper. It will be helpful for your main exam. The last part is writing, and you'll get 1 hour for writing, and there are 2 parts in writing. For general writing, you have to write a letter to someone in part 1 for 150 words, and in part 2 you have to write down about any topic for 250 words. And in academic writing, part 2 is similar, but in part 1 you have to write down about any graph. They will give you any graph in a chart, and you just have to describe it in 150 words. So if you are good in grammar, you will easily get 6 or 6.5 in writing. But the problem is, if you want to get more than that, if you want to get 7 or 8, in that case, what you will need, you have to use some uncommon words, unfamiliar words, so that the examiner will understand that you're good in vocabulary. Then you have to use difficult, you have to use long sentences, complex sentences, so that they will understand you're good in English. You're expert in English. You have to show them that you are very expert in English. That is why you have to make long sentences, and you have to make your writing very interesting. And how you can make your writing interesting? You have to generate many ideas. Many people face problems generating ideas in any topic. So what you can do, I'm giving a link of a website. If you check the website, there are many sample essays of score 7, score 8. If you read their essay, then try to imitate them. Try their writing pattern, try to write like them. And when you read all the sample essays every day, you will generate many ideas. It will be easier for you to write down. To practice writing, writing every day is not necessary. You can write once in a week, but what is important, you have to read every day. If you read more, it will eventually help you in your writing. That is a very good strategy that I missed, that one of my elder brother actually told me. If you want to be a good writer, you have to read more. So similarly, if you read good articles, good books, which is rich literature, rich in words, then it will eventually help you in your writing. When you write, you automatically think about new words, so it will show up on your writing. And always remember, try to assess this writing with someone. I mean, you just write every day, check yourself, it is not enough. If you write down, if you're making any mistake, you cannot find out your own mistake. So find out someone who is very good in English. It might be an English teacher or someone who has got a very good score in IELTS. Go to the person, request that person to check your writing every day, or make a deal with that person. You might give that person some money so that he or she will check your writings. And even in internet, there are many websites, they check writings with some dollar, and some websites check writing on just free of cost. And if you do not find anyone, you can send the writing to me. If I have free time, I'll definitely check them and give you suggestion how you can improve your writing. So it is all about writing. Try to read more, then you'll get a very good score in writing. So these are the basic tips about the 4 sections. And if you are preparing for IELTS exam, I would suggest you to give a mock test first. In my country, Bangladesh, there are many coaching centers. They arrange mock test. You can contact them. You can give the mock test. Then what will happen, with the result you'll get an idea about yourself. And then you can make a routine for yourself for how many hours you'll spend for which section. In this way you can practice. And if you have 2 months or 3 months, then what you can do, you can give mock test in every month. So you will see yourself how are you improving or not. And when you're practicing, I would suggest you to use pencil all the time for writing and reading. And when you're practicing writing, try to use rolled paper instead of plain paper, because there is a limitation of words, 250 words in part 2. You should not write longer essays or short essays. So when you use rolled paper, it is easier for you to count the words. And always think about the time. Time management is very important when you're practicing reading and writing. But in case of writing, at the initial stage, you should not think about time that much. You should focus on the quality of your writing at first. When you will become expert, then try to make it first. And when you will be confident that yes, you have prepared yourself, then register yourself for IELTS examination. And in my next video, I would try to upload my routine, how I prepare myself for IELTS exam. If you don't want to miss it, then subscribe my channel. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you do not like it, just ignore it. And if you have any question, you can ask me all of your question through the comment box, or you can contact me directly through Facebook. It is given in the description. So best of luck for your examination and pray for me. Thank you.